Now, I really did build him up, didn't I, before the break, so I hope you're not disappointed. You won't be. It's Andrew Gold! Good evening, Andrew, my darling. How are you?
Can you introduce me with some more enthusiasm, please?
I don't know what to say, other than did you also go to the same funeral as me earlier?
Bloody hell, Alex. Why? Was there a funeral?
Yeah, no, I was actually at a funeral today, hence that's my excuse for dressing all in black. But I've never seen you in any other colour, if I'm honest with you.
You will have done, because we've spent a lot of time together.
We have. We're in the sort of, you know, in the Middle East, in blazing hot sunshine together. And I'm trying to remember whether you even wore a pair of shorts. Oh, yeah, you did wear shorts. Those legs were memorable.
Hairy, spindly legs.
They were extremely spindly. I do think that you need to be fed a good sort of, you know, cheeseburger or two on a more regular basis.
Oh, God, here we go.
Anyway, other than your diet, which is clearly lacking, your podcast isn't. It is full of high-fat, brilliant, tasty, delectable content. And also, you have this knack of getting ahead of a story before it even breaks because, well, you're just brilliant, aren't you? And I think that, actually, let's just watch a clip. Let's watch, in advance time capsule, Andrew Gold interviewing Suella Braverman.
Nigel came out of that door now and said, Suella, come on, it's time. What would you say?
Listen, it's a tough time for the Conservative Party. That's undeniable. You only have to look at any poll to show that the Conservative Party is struggling because of this breach of trust. You know, I did warn about it. I warned about it for years around the cabinet table in private, and then the Prime Minister got fed up of those warnings, so he kicked me out of the cabinet. And then I warned about it publicly, and people didn't really want to hear it. And then we've had the disaster.
Are you not friends with them anymore?
I've lots of friends in the Conservative Party. Yeah, listen, we fought elections together. We worked side by side.
Could you go for dinner with like Rishi or Liz?
I don't think I'd go for dinner with Rishi, no. I don't think he'd want to go for dinner with me, no.
Liz, Boris?
I'm still in touch with a lot of them. Yeah, exactly. You know, you've got, I think you also got to, like, be mature about these things as well.
I mean, the brilliant thing there, Andrew, is at no point does she actually say, no, I wouldn't go and join Reform. When that story broke, it was almost the worst-kept secret in Westminster.
Well, you know, I don't know if you got to the end of that episode, but you know I asked who your favourite heretic is, and after having almost denied it, because she was a bit sort of coy there, wasn't she? She immediately went, Nigel Farage. And I said, well, that's, you know, because we'd been employing a kind of football metaphor where I said, look, you know, I watch football. I've been watching Tottenham for many years, and for many years Harry Kane was always asked, will you leave Tottenham for Bayern Munich, or not for Bayern Munich specifically, but will you leave Tottenham? And it was always, oh no, I'm very happy here, I'm very happy here. And then he was gone, and I said, is that going to be you? And she was just like, well, I don't want to say that I'm, you know, Harry Kane's one of the best footballers we've had. And so she was just skirting around it, really. And I said to her at the end, well, look, if Harry Kane, when he was maybe going to leave, had been asked, okay, but who's your favourite club? And he had said Bayern Munich, then I think we'd have known, oh gosh, he's leaving. And she said Nigel Farage. So I think we did know at the time.
I think when her husband joined the party about a year ago and started becoming a factory of pro-reform tweets, it was a bit like, well, that's odd, isn't it? Like, you know,
well, it would have been
Braverman's there. Suella, where are you, love?
Yeah. Awkward not for her not to do so. And look, you know, I speak to him as well, and he's great, and I love her. I mean, you when you're in our business, as you know, you meet a lot of politicians, and a lot of them are very disappointing.
Yeah.
And they're just sort of quite robotic and boring people, and they're not like real people. And I know people say that, and I don't want to just say the thing that everyone says, which is they're not like real people, they're like robots, but I promise you they really are. Right. But Suella is one of the few who, I've said this before, she might be insulted by this because we're probably closer in age, so it's not possible, but she could be my auntie. That's how I feel about Suella. She's a proper person. She's fun and interesting. She's a real human being. So I'm happy for her, and I'm happy for Reform.
Did you see on X, by the way, I don't know if you caught this, there was a post put up by David Frost, and it's him and Suella having these, like, turquoise-coloured ice cream. Lord knows why they bought that, because it's probably, like, Hubba Bubba flavoured or something. And it says, like, oh, yeah, Suella and I have very similar tastes in things, with these sort of, like, you know, basically it was the Pantone of Reform UK in ice cream format on a cone. And I'm like, Is that the next defection then? I mean, are we now not even bothering to play the waiting game? People are just putting, it's like that Osborne, those games, do you ever have those books growing up where it's sort of like the intergalactic bus or something and you answer a riddle and turn to page 12 and you go down a maze or something? It's like basically clues for kids.
It is that. Look, I mean, I wonder, and maybe I'll ask her husband, but I wonder if she got sort of beaten to the pip, or whatever the expression is, with the latest couple of movements with Jenrick and all of that stuff. Would she have wanted to be first? Was her, I can imagine wanting to announce that, being really excited about it, and then seeing one or two others have just done it, and you go, oh, bloody hell,
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, that one, actually. Old soft hands Rob, as I like to call him. I don't know if you've met Jenrick, but he came in here once and I interviewed him. He was actually really personable and really nice. Do you know, it's strange. The way you just describe politicians is the exact conversation I had. It might have been with my parents, and I was just saying, most politicians, when they come in here and you interview them, they're just not humans. They're these weird sort of spin-programmed automatons who sort of think they're very busy and have an age, and they walk in and sit there and then come out of a load of sort of pre-scripted circumlocution written by the headquarters. But every now and then you meet one, it's like, all right, and you're like, oh my God, it's an actual human I could go to the pub with. Anyway, I kind of got the impression when I did interviews during the leadership campaign, when I met Robert Jenrick, that he was a bit like that, actually. Ozempic Rob. I kind of like the sort of, you've got to have a glow up if you're going to join the real right. But the one thing that stuck in my head was I shook his hand and I'm like, what is this? It's like chamois leather skin. So I just, it's honestly, you've got to get him on your show just to touch his palms.
That's interesting. That's a very Alex Phillips thing to notice, I would say, and not necessarily because people want to get an insight into the real Alex Phillips, I suppose, don't they? That's what this is really all about. And having spent a lot of time with you, morning, day, and night, traveling around places and things like that, you're very astute and you notice things about people. And there was something you said about me. I can't remember what it was. Something about that I was it because I was singing or something?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, everyone knows that you've got weird little Tyrannosaurus arms.
Yeah, little hands.
Yeah, funny little sort of thing, little hands, but you also sort of like, you tuck your elbows back when you gesticulate. It's sort of, you look like one of those sort of games that people do in charades where someone's got their hands behind their back and someone else's arms is there in their place.
Or sort of Peter Crouch kind of thing, a kind of robot-y vibe.
Yeah, except he's kind of more elongated. You're a bit like wrong aspect ratio, Peter Crouch, because you're tall and thin, but your arms are sort of little and funny.
I thought you were going to say, yeah, but he's actually talented, Andrew.
Is he? Oh, I don't watch football. That's a thug's game. I'm a posh girl.
Footballer.
I'm a Gloucester girl.
Yeah, Peter Crouch.
Right, we're going to take a short break now, because otherwise who knows what conversation we're going to have if we just carry on like this. When we come back, I'm going to quiz you about this weird showdown you had with the most leftist man in the world, Paul Mason, on the most leftist radio station on earth, LBC, because some odd things happened in that. We're not allowed to play their clips, of course, because rival channel and all of that. So I'm going to get you, with your tiny little Tyrannosaurus arms, to reenact the whole thing. That's coming